All right. Good morning, Huskies. This is Dr. Clausen. I am sharing some information with you as we prepare to return to school. And just want to make sure that all of you, teachers and students alike, experience a positive educational learning experience in the virtual classroom. Even though we are learning digitally and learning from a distance in a virtual space, you still need to treat this area just the same as you would a physical classroom. It is part of a school environment. The only difference is that there's no walls at this point. However, the same rules that would apply to you when you are in your classroom concerning language, concerning policies with schoolwork and grading, those things still apply. So obviously, if you're having a moment of frustration and you may want to yell at a classmate or because you disagree with their point, or you want to express frustration with your teacher because of a grade that you received, know that those are kind of situations that the same way they would be handled in a physical classroom is the same way they would be handled in this virtual space. Because you all are learning from home, it's nice to be able to be comfortable. Maybe you're in a comfy chair in your living room, or you may choose to be in some space like, a game room or even your own room. Please make sure that you are dressed in such a way that whatever attire you have on is appropriate. So if you can't be at school with spaghetti straps on, or some of you gentlemen walking around, at home, you may not have on a shirt, but we know we can't do that at school. And the same would apply here. Who knows what you're wearing below the waist? So if you choose to put on some pajama bottoms or your favorite, boy shorts for the girls, whatever, just make sure that from the waist up, you are appropriate. Language. So we all know that we have words that we may use when we're around our friends. We have other words that we use when we are in class and around adults. Please be sure that you always kind of have that filter in place that lets you know, like, okay, this is a comment that would be appropriate for the learning space. And if it's a comment that you have that may not be appropriate, then you should really think about, maybe this isn't something that I need to use here. And so it's very important that you remember that even though you are not physically inside 9100 St. Charles Rock Road, that you are still in a classroom of sorts. So we just want to make sure that the language that we're using with our peers and with our teachers is appropriate. We also realize that because our students are at home, make sure that when you have people around you, like maybe it's a younger sibling, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's another family member, if you must have a side conversation with them or respond to a question that they're asking you, please just be kind and mute yourself so that any background noise or background conversations don't filter into your class meetings, because that can be distracting. I'm sure that most of you know how to use the mute feature that is in Google Meets as well as in Zoom. If you don't, no worries. Just ask your teacher or a classmate, where's the button to mute myself? And they'd be more than happy to show that to you. It's a great feature because it can save you some embarrassment. If mom or dad says, hey, why didn't you get all that trash taken out of your room? Or, hey, you're not going anywhere with your friends later on until you've done your chores. So if you don't want people to know that maybe you have a messy room or that you've got some rules in place until you get things done, then definitely be kind and considerate and mute yourself. Everyone has thoughts and everybody has perspectives on whatever we're learning, whether it's chemistry or if I'm in, video production class, or if I'm in English and we're having this awesome discussion. Everybody has something that they would like to contribute. So please remember to be kind and share the airspace. We can't all speak to a topic at one time, because if we do, then nobody is being heard. It's just like if you were getting on the road, you can't just immediately get over because you might run into someone. I know that you all are awesome, amazing, and brilliant, and you have some awesome, amazing, and brilliant things to say. So let's just make sure that we are sharing the airspace so that everyone is being heard. When you are in your space at home or wherever you are while you are learning, it's also important to remember that because you are on camera, people can see your surroundings. Sometimes people choose to be in their kitchen, sometimes they're in their room, sometimes they're in a living room. Make sure that you have kind of checked your space before you go live on camera, to ensure that anything that may be considered inappropriate is moved out. Not that I think that any of our Huskies would do anything that would be inappropriate, but you just might happen to be downstairs and your background is your dad's collection of beer steins from Germany. And if that's the case, that would be something that would not be school appropriate. So we just want to make sure that whatever you have behind you, whether it's posters or memorabilia or other objects, just make sure that you have positioned yourself so that you're really, your background is just experiment with using virtual backgrounds, because that way, no matter where you are, as long as you have that virtual background, it could be the beach, it could be the mountains, it could even look like the most amazing little library with all these books, whatever. Just make sure that we can see your space along with your face, and we want to make sure that everything is school appropriate. Finally, and this is the biggest takeaway, the key word would be flexibility. This situation that we're learning in is not how we would want school to be. You know, we wish that we all could be together to learn and grow together, adults and students. But unfortunately, that's not possible at this time. So in the interim, I would just say be flexible. Be flexible with yourself, because it's very easy to put a lot of high expectations on yourself and stress yourself out. Be flexible with your peers. Be flexible with your teachers. Know that we understand if something happens and you're in the middle of a class and you're talking and then all of a sudden your internet drops. We get it. It's happened to us. So just be flexible. Know that there are many, many people, many adults who are working hard, both in front of and behind the scenes, to make sure that you have the best and most optimal educational experience that you can have this year at Ritenour High School. So thank you so much for your time today, Huskies. Wishing you all the success this school year in your academic pursuits. Wishing you much, much health and safety. And take care. Looking forward to seeing you soon.